Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my show. My name is Ayaka, and I'm going to talk about machine learning and particularly large language model and ChatGPT. Let's get started. Let me first share my screen. Perfect. And let me share my slide. Okay. Now, hide this one. So yes, thank you once again for coming to my show. I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Ayaka, and this is my title, Transformer and Large Language Model ChatGPT. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Ayaka Yamazaki. I'm originally from Japan. This is how you write my name in kanji, the Japanese character. And I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and this is my LinkedIn QR code. If you like, please feel free to add me to your network. And as academic wise, I earned my master's in the US, and I took some machine learning AI classes from MIT. And I earned my certificates in terms of Microsoft. I earned Fabric, data science, and AI. So my passion is for data and AI and machine learning. I love those topics. And besides my those educational work experience or certificates, I am supporting Microsoft Student Ambassadors. I'm co-hosting Microsoft Power of Copilot Hour. I shouldn't say Microsoft, but the Power of Copilot Hour with my great friends and great talented MCTs like Bill Kutman and Dan Ray. And I'm co-hosting MCT Summit Japan. This is an annual event in Japan, which is coming in October. And we are expecting people from all over the world, like 12, 13 countries already. So I am personally so excited about this event. And I do run the show in YouTube. It's called Aya Company. This is about the Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot. So if you're curious about how to better use the Microsoft Copilot in your daily work activities, please come to my show. It's Japanese, but you can still enjoy my show by adding subtitles in your preferred languages. Okay, so here is my agenda. I'm going to talk about traditional search and conversational search, structure of generative AI, large language model, traditional deep neural network architecture, inside generative AI from prompt to prediction, model type. I'm going to compare GPT-4o and 5, Microsoft 365 Copilot, and Retrieval-Augmented Generation, in short, RAG. And then I'm going to show you some hands-on exercise by using Azure AI Foundry. So let's recall how we used to search and how we search information right now. Traditionally, well, until 2-3 years ago, we open the browser, we enter our keywords or key phrases, and click on links, and we did the same thing over and over again until we find the necessary information that we are looking for. Compared to that, now thanks for AI power, we can get necessary information from a human-like conversation. It's so fast, it's so human-like, and sometimes we even forget if we are talking to chatbot or human. That is so great. I mean, this is so natural, right? So how does it make it possible? So let's understand the inside generative AI. This is a snapshot, the brief summary, but it's nice to understand the architecture behind the scene. So let's go from left to right. So first is prompt. Prompt is, of course, our input text. And the model splits input into tokens like words, subwords, characters for processing. And it also, each token is mapped to a numerical vector, allowing the model to process language mathematically because computer doesn't understand human language. And this is called tokenization. And then move to the next layer, which is called transformer. So model weight the importance of each token relative to others, understand the relationships across long text spans like pronouns referring to earlier nouns, and then goes to vector matching. The model compares token vectors to its pre-trained knowledge base. And then last one is large language model output. It converts vectors back into the language, and it reinforces the idea of prediction and fluency. Let's now see the traditional deep neural network. This is very powerful, strong. In order to compare the traditional deep neural network and generative AI, I just wanted to highlight briefly about this deep neural network model architecture. So traditional deep neural network begins with a randomly initialized weight. We randomly assign the weights. And these weights are gradually defined through the process called gradient descent, which involves feed forward, moving forward, and back propagation steps, going back. And during the training, model compares its predictions, the correct answers in a labeled dataset, and calculates the error and adjusts the weights and biases to reduce the error. And this whole process, the calculation process, continues over many iterations. It continues over and over again until the model finds a set of weights and biases that minimize the error as much as possible. This is kind of slow process, but this is very strong, and this is still used for many traditional AI systems. On the other hand, well, maybe you're curious, well, if it takes longer, the AI, the generative AI is so fast, right, compared to this calculation. So let's understand what the difference is. Here comes a transformer, self-attention process. Let me talk about that. So this is a GPT architecture. Here, GPT architecture. We have feed forward, and I'm going to talk about this transformer block and also self-attention process. So now let's dive into one of the most powerful innovation in AI, the transformer model. You might be wondering what makes it so special. Well, it's all about how it handled context. In traditional models, like deep neural network, understanding the relationship between words was pretty limited, but transformers introduced called the self-attention process. This is the mechanism. And think of this like every word in a sentence gets to look at every other words and decide how important they are to each other. And they scale 0 to 1. It's like having a machine, a conversation, asking, do you matter to me right now? And then assign the weights based on that. So it isn't just a one-time thing. The transformer uses multiple attention heads, each looking at different aspects like grammar, meaning, sentence structure, and this helps the model build a much richer understanding of the input. And this is why our prompt design comes into the play. A well-written prompt doesn't just tell the model what to do, it guides how it thinks. It sets out tone and helps the model focus on what's most relevant to it. And if your prompt is vague, the model might guess, and that causes hallucination. But if a prompt is clear, then model can get the accurate answer. Let's say the two examples here. So example number 1, I bought apple, banana, cherry, pork, and salmon because I needed to use it to make my pancake sweeter. In this case, it could refer to apple, banana, or cherry because they're all sweet ingredients, and the model might guess based on the frequency, proximity, or training bias. Example number 2, I bought apple, banana, cherry, pork, and salmon because I needed to use it for my chocolate banana pancake. In this case, chocolate banana pancake gives a strong clue, and the model will likely resolve it as banana because it matches the dish context. Let's compare two types of models. This is very helpful for you to, when you build the model, when you set up the model, it's kind of nice to understand the purpose of each model, how it's built, why what the purpose the model has been improved. So this is information I got from OpenAI, the website. So GPT-4o is a step towards much more neutral, natural human-computer interaction. It accepts as input and any combination of text, audio, image, and video, and generates any combination of text, audio, image, and outputs. It can respond to audio inputs is as little as 232 milliseconds, with an average of 320 milliseconds, which is similar to human response time in a conversation. So basically, it understands, it can take text, audio, and image and reply back to us within 1 minute. GPT-5, on the other hand, is a unified system with a smart, efficient model that answers most questions, a deeper reasoning model for harder problems, and a real-time router that quickly decides which to use based on the conversation type, complexity, tool needs, and your explicit intent. So in terms of GPT-5, we have two types of models: smart, efficient model that can answer questions rapidly, or we have deeper thinking, reasoning models, and this GPT-5 will decide when to use which model, depending on our context, or depending on the complex of complexity or needs. Okay. So I have another example for you to understand when to use what model. If you're looking for accuracy, you can come to this kind of like information, like data, and say which to select. So let's see, GPT-4o equals to GPT-5 main. So I'm going to compare those two models. If you look at this, there you go. Multi-turn instruction following, you see GPT-4o hits 40% of accuracy, and GPT-5, the regular model, has 55% of accuracy. And then if you select the deep thinking model, it goes to up to 69.6%. And if you are looking for instruction following in freedom writing, GPT-4o has 61% of accuracy. GPT-5, the regular model, has 70% accuracy, and with deep thinking model, it has 99% of accuracy. And ChatGPT-5 is very strong in math, it seems like. So GPT-4o, it has 42% of accuracy, but GPT-5, the regular model, has 71%, and the with deep thinking model has 99.6%. So I hope those kind of information is very helpful when you select or when you look for information for your model or building model. Based on these understanding, let me add some tips for you, additional tips for you, which is Copilot Web and Copilot Microsoft 365 Copilot. Sometimes people confuse the ChatGPT Copilot Web and the Microsoft 365 Copilot, so I wanted to highlight here. So Copilot Web, well, it has, well, model basis from ChatGPT, right? So in terms of Copilot Web, it's free. Its base model is GPT-4o for now. Maybe we can use 5 new future. Image creation is available. Public information always up to date because Bing search engine is available. Data security, this is not used for training. Microsoft clearly says that they are not using our data for training. And organization information is not available because it's only see the public information. On the other hand, in terms of Microsoft 365 Copilot, it's paid, it's $30 per user per month. And the base model is, now we can select GPT-4o or GPT-5, and image creation is available. And public information always up to date because we have Bing engine, AI attached Bing engine. And data security, it's protected within the tenant. And the big difference between Copilot Web free version and the paid version is retrieving organization data. Microsoft 365 Copilot makes us available to generate organization data. This is very helpful, and this helps us to improve our work efficiency. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but users can access to organization data as long as the user have access to it. So even if the Microsoft 365 Copilot is installed, if the user doesn't have access to the specific folder, then no, he or she can't access to that data. But the employee can still generate their personal information like chat history and such. So this is a kind of like diagram of Microsoft 365 Copilot. So once again, it has a Bing search engine, which is available, AI attached, and so we can have up-to-date information. And then on plus, we have a Microsoft Graph, which is like a connecting connector kind of. So it connects Microsoft applications like Spiderweb. So it can see our conversation chat history in Teams, Copilot, in Microsoft Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, OneDrive, Word, PowerPoint, all those applications, and even Calendar. So that is why we can improve our work efficiency. And once you use it, especially in Outlook or Teams, you'll probably love it. Okay, so let me also highlight the RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. So we already see that Microsoft 365 Copilot is great. It's amazing because it can generate an organization data, but sometimes organization wants to have a specific chatbot to generate specific information like HR related or new hire, the new orientation chatbot for the new hires. If you hire like 2,000, 3,000 employees all at once, or you might want to create a help desk support chatbot so that users can ask questions and retrieve answers from knowledge base instead of asking help desk asking IT people to you know questions. And I know that help desk people, they are like, same questions again and again and again. So to avoid that, we can build the chatbot. And for that, we want to add our knowledge, our history, conversation history, our knowledge or our data for the chatbot so that they can understand and they can generate the answer from the knowledge base. So large language models like GPT-4o and GPT-5 are powerful, but they rely on publicly available pre-trained data or Microsoft Graph, if Microsoft Graph is attached, organization data. But organization often needs to generate answers based on internal knowledge source to ensure accuracy and relevance for their employees. And here comes RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, addresses their needs by combining large language model capabilities with an additional knowledge base, enabling precise organization-specific response. So like this example, if we have expense policy or do you have HR policy, specifically you want to build and you want to build a model, the chatbot only see the specific information, and then you can have this RAG system to add the knowledge, to add your information for this knowledge base. And there are three types of services available in Azure. Number one is Copilot Studio, and second is Azure AI Foundry, and the last one is Azure SDK. Copilot Studio is kind of like elementary level. It's no code to low code solution. It's so rapid, it's easy, and this is useful for chatbot for internal inquiries. Azure AI Foundry in the middle is intermediate. It can do the low code to pro code solution, and customization and integration is available, and it can analyze large data sets. So if you want to start from small and you know that you want enhancement, then Azure AI Foundry, starting from Azure AI Foundry might be a good fit for you. And Azure SDK, this is a very advanced pro code solution. So if you have engineers who can write Python or who can write other computer languages, this is definitely a recommendation because it gives highly customizable and flexible, and it can build advanced AI model. All right, so it's time for a demo. So let me go to website. There you go. Yes. Okay. So in order to go to Azure AI Foundry, we first type azuremicrosoft.com. It's under Azure, so we go to here and of course sign in. I pre-sign in, so I think my process is smooth. But if you don't have account yet, it will ask you to create account first, and or if you haven't logged in for a while, it will ask you to log in first. And we came to this portal, Microsoft Azure portal. I want to use Azure AI Foundry, so I'm going to click on Azure AI Foundry, and I have create resource, view all resources, and view documentation. I already created my resource, but if you haven't created one, I would recommend you to go to create resource. But in my case, I have resource built already. So I go to all resources, and this is my resource, August 30th RAG, the resource group. So I click on this, and voila. And I come to this page, so I go to Azure AI Foundry portal. And what I want to show you first is model catalog. So I click on model catalog. And if you see here, you can see we have 96 models. And it's not easy to see what models to select because we have 96. Then here comes the knowledge. I mean, we talked about the difference between ChatGPT 4.0 and GPT-5, and it's always nice to have those kind of knowledge based on your, when you create a model. But my other recommendation is go to compare models, and in this compare model selection section, we can see the matrix. We can select x-axis, 4G embedding cost latency safety, y-axis, like this. So we can select what to see, what you want to see. In my case, I want to see cost and quality. So I select cost and quality for the x and y axis. And then model to compare, we can select here also. In my case, I want to see question answering because I want to create a chatbot. And maybe I want to see the knowledge, general knowledge, how strong it is. Well, I'm going to see, well, in my case, I want to see reasoning because I want a model to reply back with reasons. So I click on this. And then voila, you see this matrix here. You see a lot of dots here. It's hard to tell, but what you want to see is we want to select a model that's cheaper, but quality-wise higher, very good quality and cheaper model. So if you highlight this dot, you can see GPT-5 and the cost and ranking and such. So this is how you can compare when you select the model. You come here, see the matrix and decide. And also when you talk to managers and ask your manager why you select this model, you can clearly say, hey, listen, this is a model, this is a diagram, and this is a comparison chart, and I came here, and then this is a result. So that's why I selected this XYZ model. Okay, so now go back to playgrounds because I want to create a chatbot. And I'm gonna create a chat playground. So try the chat playground. And it says create deployment. So I'm gonna select GPT-4o mini, no, GPT-4o. There you go. Confirm. Global standard, everything looks good. Create a resource and deploy. I'm sure it takes less than 1 minute. But it depends on the internet connection. But I'm pretty sure this deployment doesn't take time much. If it does, I'm gonna pause the video and start from the next scene. All right, thank you so much for waiting. Now it's deployed, so let's go back to Azure AI Foundry. There you go. So model has been deployed, and you see this GPT-4o as a model, and you see give a model instructions and context. Can be a system message. For now, as a default, it says you are an AI assistant that helps people find information. And you can click here, you add your data and parameters that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And this is a place that we can test our chatbot to see how prompt or a model looks like in order to carry the conversation. So for now, I didn't put anything. So let's just type hello. And Agile AI Foundry chatbot says, hello, how can I assist you today? And let's see, I may say, how much is my relocation allowance? And it says the amount for your relocation allowance depends on the specific terms and conditions provided by your employer, organization, and program offering allowance. Typically, relocation allowance determines based on factors such as blah, 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 blah. So out of nowhere, I ask questions out of nowhere, of course, but the Azure AI Foundry bot returns the answer, and it gives like very generic answers, right? So but now we want to test the Retrieval-Augmented Generation. We want to add our information to the knowledge base. So let's do that. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to Azure Data, click on Add the Data Source, select the data source. So you can select from search, blob storage, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do upload files because I know I have specific PDF I want the bot to remember. And I select subscription type, blob storage. I think I haven't created one. So, okay, the storage, maybe 20. Okay, yeah, I deleted it off. So turn on course. Let's see. Okay, and select Agile AI Search resource. I wonder if I had a resource already. Okay, perfect. Well, you know what? Let me create a blob storage resource so that we can have the same understanding. There you go. We can click on the resource and come here. Storage amount, name, August, resource, storage, August, storage. Already taken. Okay. 25. Okay, August storage 25. And resource group, ChatGPT. And prefer storage type. I don't have preference, so I go review and create. Create. I'm sure it won't take time. So let's go to the next layer. Once it's done, we can select, we can see the green button. You can see it says accepted, operation details, and deployment in progress. And there you go, deployment succeeded. And so we go back here and select the August storage 25 instead. Turn on course and select Azure AI search resource. I want to create a new one. Okay, and resource group, ChatGPT, and service name, August search service, search service. Okay, now it's accepted, and the location, I'm gonna select East US, and standard looks good, so review and create, and you can see the estimated cost per month. Well, anyhow, this is for your reference, and I can hit on create. Initialize deployment, submitting in progress. You can see progress here. And deployment in progress. Looks good so far. It's not taking time. Yay, deployment succeeded. Yay, yay, yay. So go back to Azure AI Foundry. Select, oh, there you go. Select August search service. And index name, let's see, August 25, HR. And hit next. Now we can upload file. So I have this file available. This file was available in the internet. So I drag the file, drag and drop here. And then now you see the HR policy manual 2025 PDF file installed. Upload files. Next. Search type, semantic looks good. So select size. I'm gonna go for default. Hit next. And API key. Hit next. And review and finish. Everything looks good. Save and close. And you see this progress here, ingestion in progress. You can always see the progress here, or if it's deployment, you can probably see the process here. But what I want to do from here is, because I added the PDF file into this knowledge base, I want to test if this chatbot can generate the information only available in the PDF. And let me do, okay, so it's now created. But let me show you briefly what this PDF file looks like. So this is the information I got from one of the website. It was open, publicly available. Then it talks all about the HR manual. And this is, like traditional HR manuals kind of. And it talks about the welfare activities, training, deployment, and stuff like that. Medical facility and allowance, domestic trouble, sanction made class of trouble. So let's see if we wanted to ask domestic trouble. So let me type that. Domestic trouble. And then we can have relocation allowance. So domestic trouble, let's see what this page says. Domestic trouble. Domestic trouble. Okay. So in a domestic trouble session, we have this, sorry. Yep, we have all those information like faculty, economy class, modern class of trouble, daily allowance, blah. Let's see if we want to ask for daily allowance, maybe in a bit. So domestic trouble, daily allowance. Okay, so you see the daily allowance wise, the faculty is allowed 10,000 K, office and above 7.5 K, supervisor staff $5,000, below supervisor staff it's only 3,000 as a number. Okay, so this is the PDF I wanted to use. Let's go back to Agile AI Foundry. And let's see. Well, first I want to add instruction here and a system message. It says get the model instructions and the context. So I wanted to add the role, purpose, scope, and tone. So I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to assign role. Let me make it readable. There you go. Okay, so I assign the role as you are an HR assistant with expert knowledge of the organization's policies. And the purpose is your mission is to support employees by offering helpful information, practical tips, and personalized suggestions that enhance job satisfaction and reduce turnover. And as a scope, you may only reference the attached HR manual titled Human Resource Policy Manual Staff 2023. If an employee asks a question that is not covered in the manual, kindly and warmly advise them to speak with their manager. And always maintain a friendly tone when guiding employees toward their next step. And I also added a tone of voice as every conversation should include a short, light-hearted story to help employees smile and feel ease. Humor, warmth, and reliability are keys to building trust and comfort. And I click Apply Changes and Continue. And now this bot added my instruction to their knowledge base as an instruction. And let me do this chat history. Let me go to this chat history, but let me first clear the chat because I want to start over. Clear. And now say, let's see, hello. Hello. And now it says, hi there, how's your day going so far? You know, this reminds me of the time I tried to teach my cat to fetch. Spoiler alert, I ended up fetching the toy myself. Anyway, I'm here to help you with the questions and concerns you have. Just let me know. See, I put instruction like friendly tone in the small sentences, and now it does. It replies with a friendly tone. You see the difference already. So now I'm gonna say, what is my domestic trouble daily allowance looks like? What look like? All right. What does my domestic trouble daily allowance looks like? I enter this one. Let's see. Voila! Because we entered the PDF files, add the PDF file for the knowledge base. See, now you can find great questions. Let's break down the daily allowance for domestic travel based on your designation. Here's how it works. Faculty, officers and above, supervisors and staff, below supervisors, and it returns all those information that we previously double checked. And it also ended up with, oh, just a little fun story to brighten new day. And it gives us short smiley sentences stories. So yes, so this is exactly what I wanted to showcase you as a demo. So we can use this Agile AI Foundry. We can have our own data like HR or help desk or any kind of information, and we can add this information to the knowledge base, and then the model can generate this information to be specific to the users, to the questions that users are asking for, or you can use it for the customer to make the answer more accurate and more specific. And then it connects to the satisfaction, to increase the satisfaction level. All right, so let's go back to my presentation slide. Oh, so I have another tips for you. So, well, I sometimes hear from people that talking to ChatGPT is not easy. It takes some time for the GPT-5 model to return an answer. But here is a tips for you. So if you go to OpenAI homepage, this URL, it has a prompt optimizer tool, what is called, and this. Let me see if I can click on this. Perfect. So yes, it goes to this edit optimizer for GPT-5, and you can enter the prompt freely, like how is the weather in Chicago? And then click optimize. Then this ChatGPT, the OpenAI, helps us to create the best prompt. Like see it says review changes, and it provides a current it changed to the provide the current weather condition in Chicago, and the reasoning behind the change is change the question format to the direct instruction. Direct instructions are clearer for the model and result in more actionable and focused response. And reasoning behind change, number 2, added the words current to specify that the request is for present conditions, preventing responses with historical data or future forecast. Perfect, right? And it's easy. So you can copy and paste this new prompt, and paste it to the GPT-5 model and ask questions. And I'm pretty sure your response time will be shorter, and you will probably get more accurate information. Yep, that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you got some insights from my session. I really hope you enjoy your learning journey, and let me conclude with my best wishes. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you again. Bye.